Welcome to Running on Reddit, r/Bridezillas, where the craziest brides and wedding stories are shared on Reddit. One of my bridesmaids is dating the best man. Backstory: I met her through my fiance and the best man, and we've been friends since then. They broke up for a week, and during that week, she backed out of being in the wedding. The same day she backed out, they got back together and said she was back in for the wedding. The wedding is a year away, but it worries me that, if they break up again, she'll back out last minute. I have a lot on my plate already, and I don't want to stress about wondering if I'm going to lose her during all of the planning and waste money. I want her in the wedding, but I want her to be 100% all in. I want to talk to her about it, but I don't want to come across as a dumpy head. I just can't handle the stress of her flip-flopping. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand not wanting to be in a wedding with your ex, if it came down to it. But I don't want her to think it's okay to just go back and forth depending on their relationship. Some people said I should take her out completely, to avoid the drama and stress, but I'm not trying to cause tension between anyone. Advice? Regardless of her relationship status, wouldn't it make sense of her to stay a bridesmaid? For the most part, I was very happy with my bridesmaids, even the one in question. She called me at 8 the morning of the wedding and told me that she had gone out with some friends the night before to a club and she had misplaced the shoes she was planning to wear down the aisle. She was calling to ask if she could walk down the aisle barefoot. Note, her dress was about knee length. To be fair, I was pretty relaxed about most things, but this was a little much. I asked her to keep looking or find a replacement, as she didn't need to be at the venue until 1 PM. She ended up stopping at Walmart and finding a quick replacement. The new shoes were fine and matched her dress, so I was happy with that. When she arrived, she asked me to meet her outside, where she then lit up a cigarette and wanted me to sit with her while she smoked. I have asthma. She knew this. I stayed upwind until she was done, and then we went inside. She was doing my makeup for me, which I was very grateful for as I was on a budget, and she offered to do it for free because it helped her relax. As we were getting set up, she tells me that she had done cocaine the night before the wedding because she hardly ever gets to cut loose. Oh, so that's why she couldn't find her shoes. I'm a little annoyed with that, especially because she seemed to want me to be proud of her for cutting loose for once. I was upset because she was playing quite a large part in my wedding, and I would have been in a difficult position finding someone else to do my makeup if she hadn't showed. But I was willing to let it go because was she there and with shoes. I asked her to please not tell the rest of the bridal party that she had done cocaine the night before. My two bridesmaids already didn't like her very much, and my brother, also a member of the bridal party, was protective of my day and of me. No one else had arrived yet, so it would stay a secret as long as she didn't tell anyone. My brother arrives to hang out before the wedding. There's a lull in the conversation, and then the bridesmaid blurts out, "I did cocaine last night." She again seems proud, as she said it with a huge smile on her face. Thankfully, my brother just glosses over it, and it doesn't turn into a situation. I again begged her not to tell the other girls, because I know that they would make a big deal out of it. She agrees and we move on. Everything is fine and good after that, until she starts telling everyone that she wants to lick the best man because of how attractive he is. A little inappropriate, but thank goodness she moved on to that instead of telling my whole wedding about her cocaine experience. That bridesmaid sounds like a mess. At least she cut loose the night before and not during the wedding. So my partner has a gang of best friends, all guys, all grew up together. Now one of them is getting married, and they hate her. The reasons they don't like her are valid in my opinion. She is very attention grabby and manipulative, which really gets in the way of any time they want to see him. It's with her, and she has to be the center of attention. Anyway, they aren't perfect either. They do not try to hide not liking her to him or her, but anyway, they are getting married, and both them and her have been causing problems, and I want to figure out who is in the worst party here. Firstly, they get engaged. How, you ask? Well, according to the groom, she wouldn't stop going on about it, so he asked her to get her to stop. She already had all the bride-to-be gear ready to wear the day he proposed. Next, the groom asks the 5 guys and his brother to be groomsmen. They all say sure except one, who is very clear that he doesn't support this wedding and he will only go as a guest. The groom thinks he is joking and keeps inviting him to stuff, but he isn't joking. That's currently not a big problem as he is overseas in the army, so he is able to avoid the stag etc. So the rest of the guys are groomsmen. At this point the bride and groom decide they want the guys to wear kilts to the wedding. To clarify, they are Irish, she is English and the wedding is taking place in November in Ireland. The kilts issue gets worse though, they won't let the guys rent kilts. They insist on buying them and having them to keep. However, they are not clear at all on who will be buying these kilts. Further on the kilts, they want all of the groomsmen to fly to England from Ireland to get measured for these kilts because they live in England now and they can get them cheaper there. The guys try to argue that between flights and accommodation there, it won't be cheaper, but no joy. So they decide to make the most of it, go for the weekend, having a mini stag and enjoy seeing their friend. They go ahead and book everything. The groom is going to stay with them. They will have a nice weekend away and try get excited for the wedding. The bride then decides this seems like fun and invites herself along for the trip. The guys are annoyed but one of the girlfriends has a great idea to book a big house to stay in and go down a day early to party. It's cheaper, includes the friend who won't play groomsman, lets the girlfriends stay together when the guys go for wedding day stuff. We talk about this for a while before booking. After it's booked we are told the wedding party is all staying in a hotel nearby. The bride insists as it's not refundable to block book rooms and we all have to pay for these hotel rooms and cancel the house. They refuse as it's paid for and they think the wedding might suck and want somewhere to retreat to and the bride is not happy. This tension is all bubbling away when they come to visit for a party my partner and me are throwing. My friends all know the drama and it is mentioned around the party. At some point, after a few drinks, the bride-to-be comes up to 2 of the groomsmen and starts to complain they don't visit England enough, they don't care about the wedding etc etc. The guys keep calm on it until she starts to shove and hit them. They go tell the groom. He says they are tired and leave, but instead go to a different party and post about it. The rest of the guys don't find out about the hitting until the next day. We, guys and girlfriends, laugh about how crazy she is, but also are really angry and debate all just not going to the wedding. Eventually we calm down and decide to not give them cash, as they request, but instead put our money together and buy them something they will hate. No clue what that is yet but it might be crossing the line. Are they justified, or are they the bad guys here? I would just skip the wedding at that point. Sounds like it would be more of a bother than anything. Let me know in the comments below if you think they should still attend. Okay, throw away account because I don't need this coming back to me. This was years ago, but let me tell you, we had a crap fest of a wedding. D1. Rehearsal party. Mother-in-law has told me in tears that my fiance can't walk my mother or grandmother down the aisle because that would feel like giving him up. QI roll. After reception, while I'm helping pick up some of the supplies into father-in-law and mother-in-law's car, she waits till my fiance is out of earshot to pick a fight with me. I'm beyond exhausted at this point and tell her to take a hike. Father-in-law and fiance walk in at that exact moment. Hashtag winning. D-Day. Pre-wedding, wedding, and reception. She does not look at me once. She does not talk to any of my family, to the point that they start getting upset. She even tells my fiance that he can still cancel the wedding 30 minutes before walking down the aisle. At the reception, she sits with her group of friends. My husband prepared an amazing lovely speech for me, but she had disapproval beaming out of every possible gland you can imagine. She did not talk to my mom or dad once. Finally, she critiqued everything from the food to the decor. This was all related to me secondhand. I was happily oblivious that day. The aftermath. We had been dealing with a violent stalker for a while, had made police reports, and gotten the situation under control. There were a couple of guests who were police officers and concealed carried to my wedding. Not a fun situation, but there was nothing to be done. Word somehow got out, and she still talked about it years later, making me into a villain who endangered everyone. I'm a monster. Fast forward to present day, everything is good. That was all years and years ago, but it is something we, my husband and I, have a good laugh about to this day. Hate to say it, but no one really cares about the mother-in-law or her sulking on the wedding day. Not everything is about her. If she had anything she wanted to sort out, should have done it months ago. If you like the content and want to support the channel, like and subscribe right now, or you'll be running on fumes. Out of all the things a bride could need to control, why do they pick the weirdest crap? So, one of my good friends is 5 foot 10 inches, we'll call her L, and her cousin is getting married. Now, said cousin is 5 foot 11 inches and apparently has some weird height issue. She starts by telling my friend and her other 7 bridesmaids that no one can be taller than her and she'll be wearing 2-inch heels, so prepare appropriately. That's fine. L decides she'll wear flats. Fast forward a couple of months. Bride has now decided that all the bridesmaids must be the exact same height. Since L is 5 foot 10, everyone must be exactly 5 foot 10 and a half. Apparently the heel on her flats give her half an inch. And yes, the bride thinks that's a big enough deal to warrant addressing the extra half inch. The issue. One of the other bridesmaids, her high school best friend, is 5 foot 3. That's right, this girl needs 7.5-inch heels. Ellen short bridesmaid bring up how impossible this is going to be. Bride goes on a rant about how it's her day and her vision and this is a small request, so freaking get over it. The issue now is that the bride hates all the shoes that the bridesmaid has found that are 7 inches tall. According to the bride, they all look like hooker shoes. She's complained about how horrible the short bridesmaid is for making a big deal about it. As of yesterday, she told Ellen short bridesmaid that they were ruining her day and that one of them had to drop out of the wedding party, but she would let them decide which of them were a real friend to her and which of them was a fake friend. Who even does this kind of thing? Watch, the Bridezilla plans on taking the massive heels for herself. Imagine the scene. Beautiful day, beautiful bride, towering nearby buildings, breathing fire, and making her presence known with her brand new heels that make her almost a foot taller than her bridesmaids. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on the bell or you'll be running on fumes. See you in the next video.